Has your school ever tried to take your life? I was walking out of first period English when I saw security grabbing a kid from my math class. They were confiscating his bag because apparently he had brought his sister's birth control pills to school thinking they were icebreakers and handed them out during lunch like candy. Their parents went ballistic when they found out their daughters were taking birth control, and as soon as they threatened lawsuits, our genius principal had a plan. Effective immediately, no student could carry any medication whatsoever without submitting a form signed by a doctor. This included everything: Tylenol, inhalers, even cough drops. The enforcement was ruthless. Security guards were searching backpacks with metal detector wands, searching lockers during random sweeps. I watched them confiscate a girl's inhaler while she wheezed, telling her she could get it from the nurse's office if she really needed it, which was a 5-minute walk away. Her face was literally red from not being able to breathe, but there was nothing she could do. One unauthorized pill could mean a lawsuit, so they were stopping at nothing. I thought I'd be safe. My peanut allergy was documented, my EpiPen prescription was on file, but when security cornered me at my locker Wednesday morning, none of that mattered. They grabbed my EpiPen from my backpack's side pocket, examining it like evidence at a crime scene. They had gotten an order to come search me, claiming my doctor's signature looked unofficial. I tried explaining that without it, one wrong bite could kill me in minutes, that my throat would close, but they did not care one bit, dropping my life-saving medication into his confiscation bin with all the other contraband. I was shaking so bad I could barely make it through second period. When I finally told my mom, tears in my eyes, she went from concerned to furious in seconds. They want to play games with your life? She said, her voice deadly calm. She knew what to do. That weekend, she bought me a special backpack, one with a hidden compartment sewn into the lining, invisible even if you turned the bag inside out. Monday morning, I walked past security with my EpiPen tucked safely in that secret pocket, my heart pounding as they waved their wands over my bag. 3 separate searches that week, and they never found it. I felt like I was smuggling something serious, not life-saving medication. But then, it happened. Right as everyone was eating lunch, I heard everyone panicking. "The brownies have peanut butter!" someone screamed. We all stood up to see what was happening, and saw Jackson's eyes bulging as he tried to speak, but only strangled squeaks came out. "Where's your EpiPen?" his best friend begged. Already knowing the answer, everyone knew the answer. Locked in the nurse's office with every other confiscated medication, behind a door that required 2 keys and administrator approval. The nurse was at a district meeting about medication protocols. Her substitute was calling the main office while Jackson collapsed, craving even just the slightest bit of air he couldn't get. A few girls and teachers were all calling 911, telling them to save this poor kid. They were pushing us away from him, as teachers had to rush over to the nurse's office 5 minutes away. He looked like he had maybe 2. Kids were sobbing, but the teachers were just trying to stop the few from recording him. His skin had gone from red to gray, eyes rolling back until only whites showed. Then it hit me. They weren't making it back with that EpiPen in time, but I knew where one was. I grabbed my backpack, ripped open that liner and found it. They tried to hold me back, but once the teacher saw what was in my hand, he stopped. I yanked off the blue safety cap and slammed the orange tip into his outer thigh, counting the longest 10 seconds of existence while pressing through his jeans. The epinephrine hit his system like electricity. He was looking at me for any sign of help, until he finally started to slightly breathe. This wouldn't last long, but now he'd have a chance. Multiple students were filming as the paramedics worked on Jackson, their faces grim while they pumped more epinephrine into him. "How long was he down?" one demanded. When we told them about the locked medications, they exchanged looks of pure rage. "Get me his parents' number now," the lead EMT yelled at our principal, while they loaded Jackson's limp body onto the stretcher. We watched the ambulance drive away, sirens screaming, not knowing if he'd survive. The news immediately spread, and parents flooded the school demanding answers. Nobody knew if he was okay, and nobody could reach Jackson's family. They'd gone radio silent at the hospital. That evening, the emergency board meeting erupted into chaos. "Where is my son's insulin?" one mother screamed. Everyone knew what was coming, and after trying to avoid lawsuits, he got even more. Our principal was arrested that afternoon, and we returned to school not knowing if Jackson was alive. Then we saw him, pale, weak, but walking through the front doors. No permanent damage. When he saw me, he held up his new EpiPen and said, "Legal now, thanks to you."